Thank you. Thank you for having me. Hungary is a shining example for all of us who share three priorities: God, country, and family. America was actually built on these same priorities. Tragically, many proud democratic nations around the world, including our own, are now in a struggle for survival against the radical leftists hell-bent on eradicating these foundational values. They want to replace timeless truths with woke policies that destroy freedom, family, and faith. And they weaponize institutional power against anyone who stands in their way. These radical leftists reject the values of the American founders, the ones that they had in mind when they gathered nearly 250 years ago to write our Constitution. The values that make America truly great: freedom, self-determination, and national sovereignty. Hungarians have fought for these values for the last 500 years. Lord willing, we will be fighting together as freedom-loving patriots for the next 500 years. Because no matter how they try to cancel us, to ridicule us, and to demand that we bow to their false god of government, we will never back down. I hear this when I travel across my district in Alabama to learn more about the issues that my constituents are most concerned about. It's not skyrocketing price of fuel or food or even paying higher tax rates. Even though they justifiably blame President Biden for these policy failures, their biggest concern is the weaponization of government against the American people and our own values. They see the weaponization of the American justice system against President Trump. And they think, if they'll do that to him, what on earth would they do to me? They see conservative opinions being censored by big tech. They see girls being forced to allow biological boys in the locker rooms and in competitive sports. And they see their elected leaders cowering in fear to this woke mob. But in the midst of the darkness, they also see flashes of hope. In small acts of resistance, when a young female swimmer speaks out against radical trans agenda, or when a coworker refuses to mandate their pronouns in their bio, or when we fill a Patriots Hall in Budapest. We have the truth on our side, and we will never be silenced. To fight back against tyranny and woke ideas, I joined Chairman Jim Jordan and House Judiciary Committee just this year. Through this committee, we're investigating the woke policies that are hurting women, families, and the most vulnerable citizens amongst us. For example, we're fighting back against woke open border policies that put women and children in grave danger for allowing them to be exploited by drug and human traffickers. We're standing up for female athletes who have lost opportunities, including scholarships and prize money, because they were forced to compete against biological men. I know sometimes it feels like we're fighting an unending, increasingly ridiculous tide of radical ideas. But we have one weapon in our arsenal, my friend, that the left does not. That's the truth. It's not your truth. It's not my truth. It is the truth. Because the Bible promised, the truth shall make you free. Let me repeat that. The Bible promised, the truth shall make you free. Like Daniel in Babylon, he stood in truth. He held fast to his convictions. He was under some intense pressure with a corrupt government and officials coming after him. Does that sound kind of familiar? The radical left tries to scare us into self-censoring, not speaking the truth, stating the facts like there are two genders, men can't have babies. You know, in some countries, that'll get you labeled as a bigot, guys. In other countries, that'll get you put in jail. But we must never cave to the temptation to self-censor. We have to be behind the leaders in politics, the media, and science, and academia who are attacked during this because they're going against the tide. When they're attacked, we've got to stand with them, and they risk being canceled But we got to do what we're called to do. We have to support them. We have to speak out for them. We have to tell others about them. And most importantly, we have to pray for them. This is perhaps the most radical act of rebellion against tyranny on the left. Let me say this, because at its core, I believe that this is not a political battle. I really don't believe it's between the left and the right, or Democrats and Republicans in America. This is a spiritual battle. This is good versus evil, right versus wrong. This is light against darkness. We must be on our knees before God so we can stand solid on our feet as citizens and leaders with our eyes straight ahead to face this battle for ourselves, for our children, for our countries, and even for the world, no matter, again, the personal cost. I love this year's CPAC theme, and thank you for having me. United we stand, because I believe conservatives across the world need to come together to preserve our priorities, which is God, country, and of course, family. Hungary is a standard bearer in this fight. They're bearing the standard. They fight against socialism and communism. And it has been a privilege to speak with many of you and hear your own stories. As President Trump said in his video address last year to CPAC, I believe the best is yet to come. His leadership provides hope to many, many across the world, as does the leadership of our Prime Minister Obama. But if we want to be the best, we must unite in fighting it. We must come together. As Ronald Reagan said, one of my wife's favorite presidents, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on to them to do the same. It is my prayer that we will continue to unite against woke, weaponized ideologies that threaten our families and our freedom. May God bless you all. May God bless Hungary. And may God bless America. Thank you.